Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Liz here, and today we're going to be covering the very sensitive topic that be parts and FPE. So, I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you're pretty intentionally searching for parts and video FPE videos for War Thunder, and that you already know what the general gist is of what we're going to be discussing here. So, in summary, Parts and FPE are two modifications for ground vehicles. They are rank 1 and rank 2 modifications, one enabling you to repair your tank, the other enabling you to put out a fire on your tank, obviously. And right now, you will see this kind of pattern here at high tier. 18,000, 12,000... Let's get spicy. Let's go up to this bad boy. 33,000. 28,000 for rank 1 upgrades. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Bloody hell. And then when you look at, let's say the T32 for example, 5.9 thousand, 5,900 for your parts. And what was it again on this thing? What was it again on the M103? 18,000. So you jump from 5,900 straight to 18 fucking thousand or 19,000. Where's the in between ground there? There's no in between ground. You need in between ground for that. You can't just jump from tiny little amount that you can earn in one game to massive fucking amount on the other side of the spectrum just from one vehicle to the next. And, you know, this is a kind of a theme that just carries on throughout the tiers. I mean, it does get a little bit cheaper with, let's just say, let's have a look at this thing, for example. The M1IP or LP or whatever the fuck. 25 grand, still extortionate. And then 19,000 for your FPE, which is still bloody ridiculous at high tier. Especially now that you've had these spawn point reductions as well. Which basically means that you can put this. Oh, let's just go into here as well. You can put this, and you can also have, oh, let's just have a look down here. You can put this, and that, and then this, and that onto your lineup, provided you paid enough golden eagles to have a massive crew lineup. You can keep spawning shit in at leisure. Yes, that's right. It is effectively easier to spawn in a ground vehicle now, which means you can accumulate spawn points quicker, which means you can spawn an aircraft. However, you don't need to necessarily accumulate spawn points now to spawn an aircraft, because you can fucking spawn in a helicopter at the start of a ground forces game, without having to acquire spawn points like you would in a jet to fucking spawn in one. You can spawn it off the jet, off the bat, you can go up from your helipad, you can fire ATGMs across the map, you can snipe tanks, and when you run out of ammunition, you can pop back down and rearm your tank, your air tank, your fucking helicopter tank with ATGMs, fly back up into the sky like a little butterfly, and repeat the same fucking process with immunity. Immunity! Until, of course, a jet comes along and says, "Hello, darling," and kisses your Nancy ass goodbye. That's the current state of high-tier tanks. Modules cost too much. You can spawn in air vehicles off the bat and snipe tanks from across the map. And that is it. So, that's why people are pissed off, pretty much. And to make people unpissed off, to unpiss them off, all you need to do, Gaijin, is two simple things. If you're going to reduce the spawn points by this much, which in turn increases the length of time a battle consists of, or goes on for, which in turn keeps people in battles longer, and because you've got that stupid RP cap, in turn gives us less experience points, you're gonna have to do something. Like, for one, remove the RP cap so that people can actually acquire the respectable amount of RP based on their in-game performance. Not have it capped out so you can't earn above something like 8,000 RP, which is bullshit. You should be able to earn more on that based on your performance individually, your individual performance. But Gaijin doesn't understand this. No, because that's just too simple of a fix for Gaijin to do. Yes, too simple. Next on the list, parts. This should be something that is stock on all tanks from rank 5 down to rank 6. Why? Because if you get shot by a helicopter at the start of a game, it knocks out your fucking engine, you can't move. You can pop smoke, but you can't move. He can't see you through smoke, so if you pop smoke, you can't repair. But that smoke is going to dissipate, and then when he sees you again, he's going to kill you. And guess what? Because you don't have parts, because you're a stuck vehicle, you are dead. You are very, very dead. How do you fix this? Give tanks, at least rank 5 to rank 6, you know, the tanks that can actually see fucking helicopters, free parts. But, you know, don't have it like a fully upgraded parts like you have in the game now, where, you know, you can just repair all your modifications, like all your damaged modules to 100%. Have it so that you can not temporarily, but partially repair them. So say if your engine is black, you can repair it to red. You can still fucking move. I mean, albeit with reduced mobility, but you can still fucking move the tank from A to B. And when you get to a cap point, guess what? You can fully repair. Job done. That's all you fucking need. And then have parts as obviously an unlockable thing still, but have it so that it, you know, it does its effect now as it does in game. Have it the way it is in game, but it repairs fully. So stock, it should be able to repair partially, but once you've upgraded the module, it upgrades faster, repairs faster, and it repairs the modules to their fully repairable state, or to a fully operational state. That's parts. On to FPE. Now for FPE, tanks should at least get one of these motherfuckers, these sweet juicy motherfuckers, for free. You should have one of them at least in the tank. You know what? In my own opinion, I would like 2, but hey, that's just me. 1 would probably be fair, 2 would be preferred, and then for your upgraded FPE, once you unlock it, you should get 3. 3 of those succulent sons of bitches. You should also, once you unlock the FPE, you should remove the cooldown timer between FPEs. You know, that annoying fucking thing that you implemented, you know, a couple of patches ago, along with that FPE bug that makes you fucking use 2 FPE, you know, both of your FPEs to put out one fucking fire because of some shitty line of coding that you fucked up on. That thing. Yeah. So the upgrader should give us 3 FPEs. It should completely remove the cooldown timer. And what else? Oh yes, like the same way you have with crew replenishment, you should be able to replenish at least one of those buggers in a cap point. And exclusively in a cap point, so that, you know, if you've burnt through all your FPEs at the start of the game getting sniped by helicopters that set you on fire, or cross-map low-graphic snipers, you can replenish one. So you don't get caught with your pants 100% all the way down in the middle of an open field with nowhere to fucking go and nothing to do. I think that's fair. I think that's really fair. All of those ideas are fair. You know, included amongst all of that, maybe re-up the spawn points a little bit for ground vehicles, so that people don't take out the whole fucking lineup into a battle. Because games go on for way too fucking long with these reduced spawn points, which in turn reduces RP, and because you got an RP cap in the game, guess fucking what? It's useless having a full lineup if you can't actually gain the experience that you should be gaining if you didn't have said RP cap. It should not be a thing at this point in time. With the amount of experience it takes to research these vehicles, 380,000, 390,000. You know, it's a fucking exceeding amount of research that you need to get these vehicles. And you can't do that at a reasonable rate because guess what? There's an RP cap. And what's Gaijin's answer? Throw Golden Eagle to the game, buy all your parts modifications. Yes, your parts FPE, blah 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 blah. Yes, buy our new premium tank like the XM1. Oh, that's another fucking thing. How the fuck does this thing, the Leo A1A1 120mm L44, compete with the fucking XM1? That thing is shit compared to an XM1. The same with the T55AM. What the fuck, Gaijin? What the fuck? How does that thing, this thing here, albeit it's very sexy and it wins the sexy contest, yeah, sure thing, it's a fucking Leo. Leos are sexy. Definitely sexier than an XM1. How the fuck does that thing compete with an XM1? Something which, 1, has better mobility. 2, the gun performance is a damn sight better. 3, the shell. The shell is better. It's a better tank. The armor's better as well. The Leo just can't compare to that. That A1A1 L44 should not be a 9.0, at least at 8.7 like the T44. T44? What T44? The T55AM, that succulent son of a bitch. Yes, it should be the same as that. Not 9.0! That's the same level as the XM1, the MBTs. Basically, the XM1 is a fucking mini Abrams. A Leo A1A1 is practically a late war World War II fucking tank, or a tank that was developed after World War II, just slightly after, with a 120mm gun that is shit by comparison of the 105 on the XM1. Hello, this fuckwits. BR. Also, reduce the spawn points. No, not reduce the spawn points. Don't do that again. Up them a little bit. Maybe, you know, so it costs like 200 spawn points to spawn in the main battle tank off the bat. Remove helicopter spawns off the fucking bat. You should not be able to spawn in an air vehicle off the bat in a ground game mode. It is a ground-based game mode. You should not be able to spawn in a fucking aircraft off the bat. Remove that shit. FPE, like I suggested. You should have, as an stock, you should have 2, 1 to 2 stock FPEs. And then once you've researched FPE on your tank, you should get 3 FPEs. It should remove the cooldown. And you know what? Have it so that you can actually replenish it. At least 1 FPE in a cap point like you can with crew. I think that's a fairly reasonable assumption, considering you can pull a crew, you can just magically spawn a crew member into your tank, in the middle of an open field in a cap point, the same as you can magically spawn fucking smoke grenades into your smoke launchers and shells magically reappear in your fucking ammo racks. Okay? It's feasible. You can do it, Gaijin. We believe in you, Gaijin. You can do it! I think that's a fairly fair assumption. But again, utilize it like the crew replenishment. 1 use and 1 use only, and it only gives you 1. To the parts, you can only partially repair your stock vehicle. And it's not a one-time use thing like most people want. Because let's just say you get shot. You start to repair all your fucked up modules. Somebody shoots you again, sets you on fire. Guess what? With that one little that one little parts charge that you get that people have been suggesting, where you can only repair your tank once. Once you repair something on your tank and then you get set on fire, and say you're still repairing, it cancels that repair out. That stops their repair. So you can then put out the fire, but you can't fucking repair your tank anymore, so you're ultimately fucked. So that idea is dumb. The idea of partially repairing those, so you repair an engine that's fully knocked out from black to red. You're able to move the tank, but albeit with worse mobility. Say if your turret gets knocked out, you can still move the turret after you've repaired, but the traverse speed is shit. At least you have a fighting chance. At least you have a fighting chance. And then once you research parts in the tech tree or your modifications tab, you get the same standard that you have in the game now, where you repair everything from fucked to operational. Fully fucking operational. But you also repair at a quicker speed. Because, right now, even with crew skills, it can take a fucking merry long time to repair a goddamn module. It can sometimes take like 20 seconds to repair like a fucking vertical drive or a gun barrel with a maxed crew, like, you know, with an aced crew. That's fucking stupid. That shouldn't be a thing. Anyways, dudes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave comments in the section below. Let's get a conversation started about this, because let's face it, it's very current. It's a very current topic, so current. And it deserves and needs to be conversed on. It needs to be something that we as a community talk about and continue to actively engage on. Because if we don't call Gaijin out on their bullshit, they're not going to own up to it. And they are capable of owning up to their bullshit because, you know, like with tracks a while ago, when you got tracked, you would, you know, if you didn't have the tracks modification, you used to, you know, you couldn't repair the track. The track was separate to parts. Stupid, right? Hey, yeah, but guess what? Now you can repair your tracks. But you can't repair the tank. So say if your tracks get knocked out and your engine gets knocked out at the same time, but you don't have parts, well, it's all well and good, lads. You can repair your fucked up tracks, but guess what? You're still not going anywhere. Oh, and also to those two very, very fine, supposedly community representatives of Gaijin for War Thunder who made snarky comments about Parts and FPE and saying that it was the equivalent of giving the community a free Abrams. It's like the same as giving us 2 Abramses. You know why? Because the approximate research value for Parts and FPE for, let's just have a look at it now as we're on the American tree, from rank 5 tanks all the way to the very, very, very top dog, that is the M1IP or M11P or whatever the hell it's called. It costs an overall of 631,100. Yeah, that's a lot of RP. That's all FPE and parts. From these fuckers down to this bitch. That's how much it costs. It's a lot. That is a lot of FPE. You could get like close to 2 Abrams tanks with that, you know? In fact, you could get an entire Abrams tank and fucking spade that bitch. That is a lot of RP. And secondly, fuck you. Fuck you for saying, you know, not for saying that, but for mocking the community, for having an opinion about something that you fucked up. You fucked up on this, and you want to ridicule and mock the community for having an opinion, for trying to have a voice on something that means something to them because it's a product that we all love. And you want to go out and you want to mock that? You're a dick. Both of you who are responsible for that particular clip that's been circulating are dicks. And maybe you shouldn't be employed by Gaijin. Maybe you shouldn't have the right to speak out on a game where you have everything given to you. You get all these vehicles given to you with these 150 crew, like 150 level crews. You don't have to grind shit. Everything's given to you. You just have to go out and play the game. You don't understand the stock grind. That's right. You don't understand it. Because you get everything given to you by Gaijin. You do not understand things, so you can't comment on them. So unless you fully ground out a nation on your own, as one of these Gaijin community representatives on a separate account where you had none of this shit given to you, I think you'd be in agreement with the community instead of mocking them and being complete cunts about it. Other than that, I would like to say I do like Gaijin as a company. I like War Thunder as a game. I love War Thunder. It's a fucking amazing game. It's one of my top FPS? Free-to-play games. One of my top free-to-play games. And it's a game that I love playing. It's a game that would be easy to play for a lot of us who love the game if certain things were changed. Like the introduction of free FPE and parts to rank 5 vehicles onwards. Rank 5 to rank 6. The removal of helicopters. You know, just not being able to spawn in ground games off the fucking get-go. Like a tank can. They shouldn't be able to do it. Because if that's the case, you might as well say, hey, guess what? You might as well spawn in the fucking jet with bombs and rockets as well. That is not the case. That is why we have air RB and ground RB. So there's seclusion, because one class of vehicle completely fucks the other. Helicopters fuck tanks. Tanks can fuck helicopters also, but they mainly fuck each other. Helicopters fuck tanks and fuck helis too. Planes fuck helis and fuck tanks, and nothing fucks them except SPAA. So there's like this weird fucking biodiversity fucking triangle thing here that's going on, but it's all fucked up, with tanks being the ones who get the shitty end of the stick because Gaijin do not understand that ground RB should be ground RB. Yeah, you can still spawn in these things, but they should cost more spawn points than what they do. You should not be able to spawn in a fucking helicopter at the start of a tank game, snipe 6 tanks across the fucking map, land at your helipad, rearm, go back up and do the same fucking thing again. That should not be what happens. It should be tanks on tanks. Yeah, if you get a couple kills, you get some cap points, you get some spawn points, you die, you can spawn in a plane, and then you can spawn in a helicopter too. You should not be able to spawn in a helicopter off the fucking bat. And just up those spawn points a little bit. It was novelty when you reduced them halfway, but now it's a bit stupid. Because teams are rushing across the map with this. They're dying in that. They're spawning in that. They're dying in that. They're spawning in this. They're dying in this. They're spawning in that. They're dying in that. They're spawning in this. It's fucking dumb. It's ruining the high tier gameplay a little bit. Yes, you get those longer engagements, but you know, that kind of only works if all your fucking tanks are spaded. Oh, and only works as well if you're making a profit, which you can't, but considering the repair costs in vehicles are fucking extortionate. The ammunition costs are fucking extortionate. There's a lot of things that Gaijin need to fix with this game at the moment, and we as a community need to discuss them. That's me and my rant over with. I could go on and on and on and on and on and on, but I really don't have the time to do that, and I really don't think you guys would listen to that. So, without further ado, I'm going to call the video there before my head explodes with rage and salt, and I will catch you all in the next video. Adios, guys.